Welcome everyone. Today we are opening up the playbook on one of the absolutely most dynamic, complex, and honestly crucial sectors in global fashion. We're talking about the Chinese denim supply chain. Look, if you're a procurement manager, a startup founder, or a global retail buyer looking ahead to 2026, you already know the game has fundamentally changed. We're moving way beyond the outdated hunt for the absolute lowest price. Today, it's all about aligning with the right strategic partner, someone who can actually deliver on technical capabilities, agility, and modern compliance. So get ready because we're going to completely map out the 2026 sourcing landscape for you.
Here's our quick roadmap for the explainer. First, the new denim landscape. Second, mapping the denim clusters. Third, finding your factory match. Fourth, the vetting checklist. And finally, we'll wrap up by answering your top sourcing FAQs. All right. Let's dive right into Section 1, the new denim landscape, moving beyond cheap labor.
For decades, the old way of sourcing was, well, entirely transactional. It was basically a blind hunt for the absolute lowest cost per unit. But let's be real, that era is over. The 2026 reality requires evaluating a manufacturer through a much sharper lens. You have to assess their commitment to sustainability, their agility to respond to incredibly fast-moving trends, and crucially, their advanced technical washing capabilities. We're talking automated laser finishing and eco-friendly tech. Now, the world's denim capital remains firmly centered in Guangdong, but the factories inside it, they have evolved light years ahead of where they were just a decade ago.
Moving on to Section 2, let's map out these denim clusters and their regional specializations.
So Chinese denim manufacturing is incredibly regionalized. It's like a giant puzzle. Xintong, down in Guangzhou, is widely known as the literal world's denim capital. They are pumping out over 800,000 pairs of jeans every single day. It's a massive hub for complete spinning to finishing integration. But if you're a mid to high-end fashion brand, Junan in Shinde is really your destination for complex finishing and premium washes. Up in Jiangsu, Chengzhou focuses on heavy-duty functional fabrics tied to these massive textile mills. And then Zhongshan serves as the engine room for high-volume casual denim geared toward bulk wholesalers. The secret here? You absolutely have to match your product to the right region first.
Which brings us to Section 3, finding your factory match using what we call the persona matrix.
A massive global retailer's ideal factory is often a terrible fit for a startup, right? And vice versa. Take Black Peony, for instance. They offer incredible scale and vertical integration, but they require a minimum order quantity, or MOQ, of 3,000 units, and you're looking at 90-day lead times. Compare that to a specialized manufacturer like Freedom Silk, which offers an unbelievable 50 to 100-piece MOQ with a super fast 25 to 40-day turnaround. Right in the middle, you've got Beyond Garment for fast fashion trends, Prosperity for cutting-edge sustainability, and All-On Group for luxury high-end washes. Let's break these down by your specific buyer profile.
Okay, if you're an e-commerce seller, a Shopify brand, or a startup, your focus has to be on agility and low commitment. Beyond Garment is a fantastic partner for this. They cater to modern internet-first brands, offering those trendy distressed or acid washes with really moderate 300 to 500 unit MOQs. Freedom Silk goes even further. They cater directly to the creator economy with rapid prototyping and extremely low MOQs. But a quick warning for this profile, actually, it's a pretty big warning. Your unit costs will be significantly higher with low volume runs. And during Q4 peak seasons, these smaller, agile factories often have their production capacities severely strained.
Now, for innovators and niche brands, the specializations get even deeper. If your brand prioritizes ESG, environmental, social, and governance goals, Prosperity Textile is an absolute pioneer in waterless dyeing and high-tech fibers like Tencel blends. If you're building a heritage or workwear brand, Wingfly Textile has actually mastered shuttle loom denim. They are creating heavyweight selvage that straight up rivals legendary Japanese quality. And to capture the massive activewear and jeggings trend, Bowker Holding Group specializes in performance denim with incredible stretch recovery. Basically, whatever your niche is, there is a highly specialized manufacturer waiting for you.
Section 4. Let's get into the practical stuff. The vetting checklist and its technical pillars.
Listen, denim is made in the wash. This is the absolute heart of the garment. When you're vetting a factory, you must ask to see their wash library. The modern standard you are looking for here involves laser finishing systems like Genealogia and ozone washing. If a factory is relying entirely on traditional chemical-heavy hand sanding, they are way behind the curve. Modern tech isn't just more sustainable, it provides vastly more consistent results across a large production run. Next up is communication. You need to ensure your supplier perfectly understands your structural needs, and that means speaking the language of ounce weights. If you want a summer jean or a denim shirt, you're looking for lightweight denim, which is under 12 ounces. The industry standard, your everyday retail jean, is midweight, sitting right in that sweet spot between 12 and 14 ounces. And if you're producing stiff, heritage workwear, you need to specify heavyweight fabric, which is 16 ounces and above. Clear specs up front prevent absolutely disastrous sampling errors later.
For 2026, compliance is completely non-negotiable. It's just vital for navigating the modern supply chain safely. You must look for BSCI or SEDEX certifications, which guarantees social compliance and labor rights. For the safety of your consumers, demand Oeko-Tex Standard 100. That ensures there are absolutely no harmful chemicals in the finished fabric. And hey, if your marketing claims you're using recycled cotton, the factory absolutely must hold a Global Recycled Standard or GRS certification. Seriously, do not skip this step.
Finally, Section 5, Sourcing FAQs Answered, the on-the-ground realities.
All right, let's hit some rapid-fire FAQs. This is undoubtedly the #1 question on every single founder's mind. How many units do I actually have to commit to?
Well, the answer is kind of split. For standard OEM factories, the MOQ is usually 500 to 1,000 pieces per style or wash. But specialized small order factories in places like Guangzhou now happily accept 100 to 300 pieces. But remember what we talked about earlier. The trade-off for that low commitment is always going to be a premium price per unit.
Next question. Can I get custom hardware like engraved buttons and rivets? Look, every brand wants their logo on the buttons. It really elevates the product. But can you get it done easily? Yes, but there's a pretty major logistical hurdle you need to know about.
And that hurdle is this number right here, 5,000 to 10,000 units. That is the standard MOQ just to have the hardware factory fire up their machines to custom engrave your buttons. So even if you're only ordering 300 pairs of jeans, you must be prepared to pay up front for thousands of buttons. I really hope you have a lot of extra garage space, because the factory is going to be holding them in stock for your future orders.
Next up, how do I handle quality control for denim washes? Now, this is a notoriously difficult issue. How do you ensure the cool shade of blue you approved on a sample is the exact same blue on all 1,000 pairs of jeans when they finally arrive?
Okay, here is your exact tactical solution. Always, and I mean always, request a PP sample, a pre-production sample before the bulk run begins. You have to understand that denim washes can naturally vary by plus or minus 10% in shade just based on the day's water temperature and chemical concentration. To control this, you must create an approved shade band. Basically, this gives your QC inspector an acceptable range of light to dark shades to check against right on the factory floor, ensuring nothing wildly off color gets shipped to your warehouse.
And our last question, why are my denim samples taking so long? This is arguably the most frustrating bottleneck for fashion brands. Why does a denim sample seem to take forever compared to, say, a standard woven shirt?
Here's the deal. You need to actively budget 14 to 21 days just for a single sample. Unlike a simple t-shirt that is cut, sewn, and finished all at once, jeans have to be fully sewn, and then they literally sit and wait in line for an open wash slot in the wash house. It is a two-stage manufacturing process, so patience is just a mandatory part of the timeline.
So what does this all mean? The era of treating denim sourcing as a cheap, blind transaction is officially over. Navigating the modern denim supply chain in China requires a complex evaluation of sustainability, technical washing capabilities, and supply chain agility. Let me be super clear. A strategic partnership with the right factory, one aligned with your specific volume, your technical needs, and your values, is your ultimate competitive advantage.
You now have the roadmap. You know the regions, the specializations, and the precise vetting criteria required for success in 2026. So the only question left for you to answer is, who will manufacture your next bestseller? Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer, and happy sourcing out there.